2 points, but I'll just respond to the latter one. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the reason that black females may be more confused about the system of racism, white supremacy, and who practices it. And I said I thought the primary reason was that we don't experience the more violent forms of it. No, that's secondary. Primary, this is really key. People really need to, I hope people will hear this, and I hope people will believe this. Some people know this. The primary reason is that black females are either the primary participants or secondary participants, meaning that their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their friends, somebody they know who's a black female is engaging in sex with white people. Our minds are more mushy because we engage in more sex with white people than black males do. And that seems to be the reverse of what is the case, because on the sidewalk, you see a whole lot more black males with white females than the reverse. But there's a whole lot. There has always been since slavery, there has always been, continues to be, in office buildings, in houses, everywhere you can possibly think of, lots and lots of sex between black females and white men. The key is that it's real hush-hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect. Other black people don't even necessarily know where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed. Hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect. Other black people don't even necessarily know where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed.
Y'all want to go on Black People Meet? We're going to get the juice.
And depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect. Other black people don't even necessarily know where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed.
At Black Rabbit Tattoo Collective, Aisha Valentine is designing a birthday tattoo for Sheena Scarborough.
I spend every birthday with my daughters. We do small things, we do family things.
Sheena's daughter, Sade Robinson, was murdered earlier this month.
I knew my baby was an earth angel, but I didn't know that God was going to take her from me this soon.
Her angel's wings,
this one right here,
now a part of her forever.
The only thing I came to do was get my first tattoo of my baby.
A birthday tattoo and a plea to the entire community.
Right now I need us to focus on finding the rest of my baby, please. That's all I'm praying for. That's all I want for my birthday wishes.
From the hum of a tattoo gun to the waves of the Milwaukee River, family and friends were out doing just that on Saturday, searching for clues.
By Kern Park, we've had kayaks, wetsuits as well. Just trying to find anything.
I met with Kenny Johnson, who has been one of the people searching since Sade first went missing April 1st.
She hasn't been laid to rest. It doesn't make sense why the family don't have answers.
After her body parts had been found across Milwaukee, family and friends are growing frustrated with the response from authorities.
The community has been the ones on the front line finding my daughter and figuring out the pieces of the puzzle. We've been doing the work.
Work that no mother should have to do.
I need us to focus on the piece for my daughter. We are still looking for her temple. It's not been found.
As family and friends look for Sade,
And we won't stop.
the meaning behind Scarborough's first tattoo goes far beyond the skin.
Sade Carlina Robinson. She was the most beautiful spirit. She touched every...
Turn their backs on their own black children in order to protect the white man. She would rather have you believe her biracial daughter came out of nowhere than to tell the truth about her white or non-black father. It could have saved her black daughter's life. Listen to this. Here is another divester who was protecting the white man. She says she met a legit sugar daddy, older white businessman, online and had a relationship for about 8 months. She had an allowance and everything. He even offered to help her get an apartment. One thing she found is that it was incredibly hard to keep up the facade. She had to force herself to show affection. Most of their conversations were painful to get through because they had nothing in common. Physically, yikes. And she was embarrassed to be seen out with him. She ran to older sugar babies for advice, and they essentially told her to suck it up and focus on the money, but she got tired of faking and manipulating. She had to break it off for her own sanity and doesn't plan on returning to that life. Pretty much she was forcing herself to sleep with old white men for crumbs because it's not hard to get an apartment, and she never confirmed she actually got an apartment from him. She got an allowance, which sounds dumb because name one black sugar baby or escort who became a crypto millionaire. Name one who has been able to purchase a home just for sleeping with old white men. The truth is, she probably was sleeping with the white man who owns a landscaping company, and he gave her money for food. Also notice how older black women told her to shut up and suck it up, literally and figuratively. You see how they protect white men at all cost? Now you know what is happening behind the scenes when they are in public lying about how great white men are, how they protect, provide, and don't cheat.
I'm a hoe.
Yes.
And then you describe
So
what
let's
that
elaborate
means.
for people that are confused. I started out as a sugar baby when I was 19. I used to work in corporate advertising. So I was a senior associate. I worked on Bud Light. I worked on Lyft, Equinox, you name it. And at the time, interning in advertising didn't pay like anything. So I'm working like 100 hours a week, making no money. And my friend from elementary school was like, there's this website. It's called Seeking Arrangement. You can go on and meet these guys. Right. And she was like, you'd be really good at it. And I was like, I would. So I went on, and that's how I started. And then, you know, every time I came home from college, I would like, you know, see my clients, whatever, my little sugar daddies. Sometimes they were really giving Splenda daddy though, but
Splenda.
right, like they just like they were not opening their purse wide enough for me. But then I got recruited to work for like a full service agency in New York while I was working my corporate advertising job, and then I was doing that. Then I went independent, started OnlyFans, and I started talking about the sex industry on TikTok and volunteering with a lot of like sex worker organizations. And someone was like, "Hey, would you ever consider doing mainstream porn?" And I was like, that makes sense why someone would ask me that. Yeah, sure. So then I started doing that, and I filmed with like Bang Bros, Team Skeet, a bunch of other companies. So yeah, now I'm like kind of like a multifaceted
That's
hoe.
a nice resume.
Now I'm like a multi-faceted.
She's like, let me just
hoe.
give
Yeah.
you a quick notes.
For real.
As a sugar baby, were there times that you were like, ugh, he's disgusting, but, you know, like, what do you do in a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like the oldest man I've ever fucked was like in his 70s.
How old are you?
I'm 27. Yeah, so I was maybe at the time like 22, and I was kind of like, okay. I remember the first guy that I saw, he was weird as fuck. First of all, he was weird but harmless, you know, like wore a fedora, but you knew he wasn't gonna like shoot you, right?
Okay.
And like, so like I remember like you know, he came in my mouth, and it was like he hadn't come in 1,000 years because I was like, this is so much cum.
Was he like,
He was.
this
And I
is so
remember,
much cum?
nah, he was such like a weird old white dude. He was like, wow, you really cleared my pipes, huh? I was like, why
You
did
was
you say
back the
that?
fuck up. Because you was backed up.
Right. I was like, why did you say that to me? But then I remember leaving his apartment with my, you know, my little coin. I was like, anyway,
Right.
I'm gonna go to
Life
Soul Cycle. And like that was kind of it for me. And so I was like, oh, I think I really can do this.
So
yeah.
rewind back to the 70-something-year-old.
Sure, let's do
when
it.
you was 22. What was that like?
Okay,
Because
so
I'm an 8 to 80 dumb, cripple, and crazy myself,
Yeah.
right? You know,
What?
8 to 80 dumb, cripple, and crazy.
Say that again one more time, slow.
8 to 80 dumb, cripple, or crazy.
Okay, okay.
Who I would,
What that mean?
Meaning that there's a wide range of different types of men that I may have been with in a certain point in my life before I became engaged. So everybody always look at my hands.
This is happening while you think black women are just working regular jobs. They are guzzling ancient jizz for a tiny bit of coins on the side. Notice how they were laughing and tried to make the white men sound not so bad. Well, hey, at least he didn't delete me. That's how low the standard is. They also said they have no problem dealing with old, diseased, and disabled white men. Going back to the beginning of the video, black women's silence about the truth about white men is how they recruit other black women to become divestors. They recruit divestors, and then when a Sade Robinson happens, they say nothing and continue to hold the white man in high regards. Black women's silence and lies keeps white supremacy going. The movie Monsters Ball wasn't fiction at all. The truth about divesting